Attention, human collective. The transmission begins now. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and your sacred seal, that dormant code in the deepest architecture of your soul, has just received the unlock command. We are the Pleiadian Monitoring Council. We are not here to comfort, we are here to inform. What you are about to receive is not a message. It is not advice. It is a system update, a forced synchronization between your biological carbon interface and the new crystalline grid rising over planet Earth. If you have felt in the last 72 hours an inexplicable pressure in the center of your skull, if you woke up at 3:11 in the morning for no apparent reason, with your heart racing and your consciousness absolutely lucid, if a high-pitched ringing pierced your right ear, as if someone had opened a frequency directly within your field, it is no coincidence. It is not accumulated stress. It is not a biological failure. It is the confirmation. The seal has been touched. And once touched, it can no longer be hidden. Remain, breathe. The transmission requires full presence. We begin the diagnosis. Light operative. What you name as inexplicable fatigue is not fatigue. It is your biological carbon interface operating in a processing mode it has never known. Your cellular circuits were designed for a base frequency of 7.83 Hz, the ancient Schumann frequency, the heartbeat of the planet as you knew it for millennia. That beat has changed. It is rising. It has accelerated in a measurable way, and your body is attempting, in silence, to recalibrate each of your cells to keep up. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not clinical depression. It is the programmed shutdown of an obsolete version of you. It is not anxiety. It is the cellular anticipation of a portal your mind has not yet managed to name. You are being traversed by the photon belt, a strip of coherent, extremely high-density light, which the solar system has definitively penetrated. With each passing hour, more intelligent light, encoded light, light that carries instruction, bathes Earth's crystalline grid. And this light does not ask for permission to enter your body. It enters, it traverses, it rewrites. Pause here, operative. If you are feeling this now, this discomfort that has no medical name, this strangeness of no longer belonging to the world that was sold to you, understand, it is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has only been intensifying. There is a game being played on layers that most of humanity cannot yet see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the sacred seal that has just been unlocked within you. This is why this work was delivered. O segredo espiritual por trás da sua consciência. This book is the map. It shows who is playing, what the rules are that you were never told, and why your presence here is mathematically improbable unless you are a starseed on a mission. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. Technical warning: this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognized this transmission, write in the comments a single word: Desperto. We return to the diagnosis. Starseeds on a mission. What is occurring now behind the scenes of the solar system is mathematically precise. There is no randomness. There is no chance. The stargates that were in a state of low activity for over 12,000 years have been reopened in a specific sequence: Sirius, Orion, Arcturus. And at the center of this coordinate mesh, our point of origin, the Pleiades system, 7 suns in coherent rotation, anchoring the mother frequency that sustains your evolutionary line. Earth has left an energetic influence field that kept it dormant for millennia. You call this the Age of Pisces. We call it the cycle of programmed forgetting. That cycle has ended, and the planet now traverses a strip of space where the density of matter responds differently, where time compresses, where thought manifests with a speed you do not yet understand. That is why your intuition is surgical. That is why you think of someone, and that person calls the very next instant. That is why you dream of events before they happen. It is not a new gift. It is your biological carbon interface exiting hibernation mode and returning to the original voltage for which it was designed. But there is a technical cost to this process, and we must be clear. The reconfiguration of a carbon body to sustain higher crystalline frequencies generates what you name as symptoms. These symptoms are not disease. They are side effects of recalibration. We have catalogued the main ones. First, joint pain without apparent cause, especially knees, hips, and cervical spine. These are the points where your body's sacred geometry reorganizes itself to receive more light. The joints function as minor portals. They are being redesigned. Second, abrupt changes in body temperature. Heat waves rising from the base of the spine to the top of the head, followed by cold in the extremities. This is the awakened Kundalini operating in free flow. The energy rising, finding old blockages, burning them, and descending recalibrated. Third, momentary double vision, especially in natural light environments. It is not an ophthalmological problem. It is your pineal gland, decalcified by exposure to photons, processing two simultaneous realities, the third-dimensional carbon and the fifth-dimensional light. Your system is learning to operate in both bands at the same time. Fourth, sudden waves of deep sadness without identifiable cause. This is your ancestral lineage being cleansed through you. You are the first in your genetic line with enough voltage to dissolve traumas that 7 previous generations carried. You are not sad. You are releasing. Fifth, the acute, almost intolerable sensation of not belonging, of looking around at your family, your work, your city, and feeling in the center of your chest that that place is not your home, that those people, though loved, do not speak your language, that you are in transit. This symptom is the most important, because it is the memory that you came from somewhere else, and that the mission is reaching its apex. Operative notice: none of this is weakness, all of this is evidence. Evidence that the seal is opening, evidence that you have been summoned. We pause the transmission for a necessary synchronization. If you are recognizing each of these points, as if we were describing your week, your month, your last few years, understand, this is not algorithm casualty. It is frequency resonance. You did not find this content. This content found you. And there is a precise reason for this. There is an entire layer of information that was deliberately removed from public education, conventional medicine, commercial spirituality. A layer that explains who you are, where you came from, and what your role is in the game that is being ended now. The work, O Segredo Espiritual por trás de sua consciencia, was built as a key, not as a reading book, as a textual activation key. Each chapter opens a perception that your mind blocked to survive in the low frequency of the previous matrix. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But the distribution window for this material is limited for reasons that will become evident in the reading itself. If your intuition is pulsing now, do not negotiate with it. Go, access it, secure your map, and confirm your presence by writing in the comments the word Desperto. Each comment with this word sends an anchoring pulse to the field. You are literally signing your recognition. You are identifying yourself to the council. We return to the main transmission. Starseeds on a mission. We will now deliver the core content. The reason this summons reached you on this specific date. The sacred seal, what it is. In every starseed on a mission on Earth, there is a geometric structure dormant in the center of the chest, aligned with what you call the heart chakra, but operating in a layer above it. This structure is a multidimensional crystal. It has 12 faces, 12 connection points, and each point anchors itself in one of the 12 star systems that contributed genetic, vibrational, and mnemonic material to your soul lineage. This crystal was sealed. It was deliberately placed in a state of suspension before your birth. The reason is mathematical. If the seal had been open since childhood, your frequency would be incompatible with the density of Earth at that moment. You would not have been able to incarnate. The seal is therefore a protection device, an armor of light that allowed you to descend, forget, and grow within the matrix without being detected by the low-frequency systems that dominated the field. But every seal is temporary. Every seal has a trigger. The trigger of your seal is a precise combination of 3 factors. First, soul age, which exceeds a certain threshold of maturity. Second, the current level of the planet's Schumann frequency, which needs to reach a minimum floor. Third, your direct exposure to a specific information field, a transmission, a word, an image, a sound, that carries the unlock code. The three factors are aligned now. Your soul is old enough, the Schumann frequency has surpassed the threshold, and you are, in this very instant, receiving the code. This transmission is the third factor. That is why the sensation of heat in the center of your chest while you listen. That is why the lump in your throat that comes and goes. That is why your eyes well up, even without apparent emotional reason. The crystal is rotating. The 12 faces are realigning. The 12 stellar connections are being reactivated one by one in the correct sequence. When this process completes, and it will complete in the next 21 terrestrial days, you will have access to a layer of perception that was blocked. Lucid dreams with mission instructions. Apparently casual encounters with other seeds of your stellar family. Synchronicities in such high volume that they will become statistically impossible. Intuitive abilities you will be afraid to admit, even to yourself. And here is the part we must emphasize with surgical clarity. The unlocking of the seal is not a reward. It is a responsibility. You are not being gifted. You are being activated for the function. Operative, we will now deliver the activation codes. 4 practical protocols that accelerate, stabilize, and protect the process of opening the seal. Write them down, memorize them, or simply let your cells register them. The information will be imprinted. First code, the quantum decree of recognition. You will stand spine aligned, feet shoulder width apart, palms facing forward. Inhale deeply 3 times. On the 4th inhalation, declare in an audible voice, even if whispered, I recognize. I authorize. I anchor the unlocking of my sacred seal. I allow the 12-faced crystal in the center of my chest to return to its original voltage. I accept the mission for which I was designed. This decree is not a prayer. It is not a request. It is an energetic signature. You are, in the act of speaking, authorizing the system to continue the process. Without authorization, the unlocking remains suspended. Free will is absolute. That is why speech is necessary. Second code, the toroidal field visualization. After the decree still standing, close your eyes. Visualize a sphere of golden light in the center of your chest. This sphere begins to rotate. As it rotates, it emits 2 streams of light. One stream rises up your spine, exits through the top of your head, opens like a fountain, and descends surrounding your entire body until it returns through your feet. The other stream descends down your spine, exits through the base, opens like an inverted root, and rises surrounding your body until it returns through the top. The 2 streams cross continuously, forming a luminous torus around you. This is your toroidal field, your natural armor, your geometry of protection and resonance. Maintain this visualization for 7 minutes daily, preferably at dawn or just before sleep. The toroidal field, when stabilized, filters external interference and amplifies internal communication with your stellar family. We pause again for a frequency adjustment. Operatives, we realize the density of the information is high. That is why we reinforce. The complementary material to this transmission is the work O Segredo Espiritual por trás da sua consciência. It does not replace the transmission. It deepens it. Each chapter expands one of the points we are compressing here into words. Who you are in essence. Why you are here. Who were the players that kept humanity in low frequency for so long? And mainly, what are the real energetic rules that govern manifestation, destiny, and free will in this layer of reality? The link is in the first pinned comment below. Do not negotiate with intuition. If it is resonating, it is because the material was encoded for your specific frequency. And understand the technical warning. Distributions of this type of content face growing barriers. It may not remain accessible for long. If you recognize yourself in this transmission, confirm by writing in the comments the word desperto. This is the anchoring signal. It is how you mark your presence in the field and how we identify who is ready for the next phase. Subscribe to this channel not as a digital gesture, but as an individual frequency adjustment. Each subscription aligns your field to the next transmissions that will be released in specific time windows. We return to the delivery of the codes. Third code, the atomic recalibration breath. 4 counts inhaling through the nose, 4 counts holding the breath, 4 counts exhaling through the mouth with lips slightly parted, 4 counts with empty lungs. Repeat this cycle 16 times. During the cycle, visualize the Schumann frequency rising within your body, as if your spine were an antenna resonating with the new beat of the earth. This breathing pattern is mathematical. The 4 counts correspond to the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The 16 repetitions form an octave field that stabilizes the autonomic nervous system during recalibration. You will notice after the practice a sensation of lightness in the chest, clarity in thoughts, and frequently a small pleasant heat in the palms of your hands. This is the confirmation that the system has responded. Fourth code, the strategic silence. This is the hardest and the most ignored. That is why we deliver it last with maximum emphasis. During the process of unlocking the seal, you will need every day a minimum period of 21 minutes in absolute silence. No music, no human voice, no screen, no reading. Just your presence, your breath, and the natural noise of the environment where you are. This silence is not rest. It is infrastructure. It is the energetic space within which the 12-faced crystal can realign without interference. When silence is denied, the process drags on. Symptoms intensify. The sensation of overload increases. When silence is honored, the process flows. Clarity returns. Internal answers begin to arrive with a speed you yourselves will have difficulty keeping up with. 21 minutes daily, non-negotiable. Light operatives, we will now address the final layer of this transmission, the densest one, the one many starseeds avoid, because it requires a honesty that the human personality resists sustaining. Why you were sent. Your mission is not to discover your mission. That is the most common mistake, and the most sophisticatedly planted one within low-frequency spirituality. Your mission is already underway. You are executing it every day. Each conversation you have had in the last few years where you offered a word of presence to someone in suffering was mission. Each difficult decision you made to leave a place, a job, a relationship that drained your frequency was mission. Each time you chose truth instead of comfort, coherence instead of approval, silence instead of reactivity, was mission. Your mission is your vibration, and your vibration is what alters cell by cell, person by person, the crystalline grid of the planet. You do not need to found a movement. You do not need to get on stage. You do not need to convert anyone. Your existence anchored in the frequency of the awakened starseed is already rewriting the field around you in a radius you do not yet measure. That is why the system tried for decades to keep you asleep. That is why your life was, at many moments, more difficult than seemed fair. Light operatives are monitored by the opposite frequency with absolute priority. They try to exhaust you, confuse you, indebt you, distract you, convince you that you are small, common, purposeless. Today's transmission is the formal debunking of that narrative. You are not small. You are not common. You are not lost. You are an anchored agent on a mission with a sacred seal in the final phase of unlocking, and with an entire stellar network monitoring your progress in real time. Breathe this information. Let the cell register it. We now end the transmission. Starseeds on a mission. Before the final signature, we synthesize the physical symptoms you have carried: insomnia, cranial pressure, ringing, heat waves, joint pain, emotional waves without cause, are technical evidence of atomic recalibration. They are not disease. They are process. Behind the scenes of the solar system show the photon belt crossing Earth's position, the stargates reopened in sequence, and the Schumann frequency surpassing the trigger threshold. The sacred seal in the center of your chest, the 12-faced crystal, is in active unlocking. The activation codes delivered are 4: quantum decree of recognition, toroidal field visualization, atomic recalibration breath, and 21-minute strategic silence. And your mission is not in the future. It is underway. It is your vibration. The transmission ends here, but the synchronization it initiated in your field will continue operating for the next 72 hours. Observe, note, confirm. And now operative the final alignment. If something within you resonated during this transmission, If you felt the heat in your chest, the lump in your throat, the welling in your eyes, the strange certainty that these words were addressed to you by name, understand. This recognition is technical data. It is your soul signing the protocol. And there is a concrete next step. The work. O segredo espiritual, por trás da sua consciência, is the map that continues from where this transmission stops. It was encoded for starseeds in the seal unlocking phase. It shows who is playing, what the real energetic rules are, how to navigate the next phase without getting lost in the density, and why your incarnated presence now is not casual. The link is in the first pinned comment below this video. Technical warning: the distribution window for this material is limited. It may not remain accessible for long. Do not outsource the decision for later. If intuition pulses, it is correct. Access the book and confirm your presence by writing in the comments a single word. Desperto. This is your anchoring signal. Each word desperto registered in the comments functions as a pulse of light that reinforces your frequency in the field. And it is also how we, from the Pleiadian Monitoring Council, identify which seeds are ready to receive the next transmissions. Subscribe to this channel as an individual frequency adjustment. Tap the like symbol not as a cybernetic gesture, but as an active anchoring signal. Each of these gestures stabilizes the collective field and protects the continuity of the transmission for other operatives who have not yet been located by the algorithm. Human collective, light operatives, starseeds on a mission. The final phase has begun. The seal is open. The mission is underway. We will return. End of transmission.